Are you ready?
Yeah. Hi.
Let's do it again.
Hi.
I'm two kids.
And I'm on a couch.
And we're two
two
kids on a couch.
I feel like that went okay.
That was perfect.
I forgot who was supposed to say and we're. It's been a long time since we've both been in the same room to do that.
Not to be confused with we're in the same room to do that now.
Correct.
I feel like this light looked so good right until you started recording, and then it all. Okay, there we go. That's fine. Hey, gang, and welcome back to Two Kids on a Couch. Sorry, the live stream didn't work out.
We tried. We gave it the old.
And then we gave up, which is what I did in college a lot of times. So I feel like it still works out.
Yeah.
Today, what are we doing? What are we doing on a couch?
I'm happy to tell you today we're going to go through the entire Tony ballot for the 75th annual Tony Awards, 22 Tonys.
Got it.
You've heard us talk about what we'll call like the main shows of the year, all the nominees for best play, revival of a play, musical, revival of a musical. But there are plenty of nominees not from those shows, right, in individual categories. So this will be a chance for us to talk about them a little bit.
And I always find that when I do those individual episodes, I think about them like in a vacuum, and I'm like, this isn't gonna win. And then I say that for like every nominee, and it's not until I look at the ballot, like, oh well, actually, I know I said that wasn't gonna win, but who knows?
I've done the same thing.
So we are, in the interest of time, there are 20 categories because we don't want to be here all night, and we don't want to keep you here all night, viewer who's watching this live. We're going to try to keep each category to 2 minutes or less. We're just going to bing, bang, boom.
Bing, bang, boom. That's how we do it.
It's how we've always done it. It's how we will continue to do it forevermore. So I guess do we want to start from the bottom up with lighting design?
Sure.
and with play?
Yeah, I'm gonna do my screen sharing thing. Yeah, this is gonna go.
Share that screen.
So can you see?
I can see.
Okay.
Perfect.
So what was your thought? Your thought is on page 1?
Oh, I forgot. This is double-sided.
I don't really want to. I feel like if we just start with all the.
Yeah. Just start with page 2. Work our way backwards.
Yeah. So orchestrations this way, or is it? As we go up the column, we do.
I mean, I'm fine with going like orchestrations, choreography, direction, musical, direction, play, sound design, and then go up.
Yeah, that sounds a good way. Okay.
All right.
Do you want to man the timer, or do you want me to?
I'll man the timer. I've seen this done on Zoom calls before.
Cool.
All right, orchestrations.
We don't have to read them out. People can read them this time. That'll save a lot of time. So I think I mentioned I really like the orchestrations in A Girl from the North Country. I think they're like actually
the most impressive. Yeah.
As much as I don't care for jukebox musicals, it is an interesting opportunity for the orchestrations to matter. Yeah.
I think it's gonna go to Strange Loop because I think so too. I think they're gonna pull a Hadestown where like maybe it isn't the best in all these categories, but because it's the best overall show.
Yeah.
And the orchestrations in Strange Loop were very good.
Yeah.
I didn't like.
I never think to listen to them. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the orchestrations for Evan Hansen won. So like.
Yeah, that's valid. Yeah. Yeah. No. I agree. I think if you were, I don't know if you've been reading the what was it, Theater Mania does their experts weigh in on the Tonys. They're like will win, should win.
Yeah.
My should win would be Simon Hale from Girl from the North Country. Will win would be Strange Loop.
I think that's fair.
Cool.
Choreography.
Finished in under time.
Under time. We had like a whole minute left.
Yeah. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this.
There's a lot of big names in the choreography. Like Warren Carlyle and Christopher Wheeldon are always like, oh yeah, these people win Tonys for choreography.
Yeah. And it's fun to me that Strange Loop isn't nominated, right? So that we can't just say, oh, it'll sweep everything.
Right. I really want Paradise Square to win.
I remember thinking that was really good choreography. And you saw the show, right?
Yeah, well that's the only show from this list that, I haven't seen everything on this list, obviously. It's Paradise Square is the only one I've seen, as a matter of fact. But like that, they more so than anyone else like really told a story, like a complicated story that could only be told through dance, and they did it really well.
Yeah.
MJ, like of course the dancing at MJ is going to be great.
It is very good. Like even from the clips I saw, it's pretty stellar.
Yeah. But I also, Bill T. Jones hasn't done a lot of musical theater choreography, but I think he's like big in the dance world.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he'll pull
Sure.
for lack of a better word, a Christopher Wheeldon of American in Paris
Yeah.
because he's fresh on the scene, or like a
but
Justin Peck. I don't know.
but
I don't know.
not a Christopher Wheeldon of MJ.
No, don't be ridiculous.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm willing to say Paradise Square makes sense as well. Truly, Music Man's also an option.
It is an option.
Like
Dancing's
that dancing
good.
was pretty strong, and kind of what I heard, like in most of the reviews I saw, that like, did we need this Music Man? It's not like it's good. It's not doing anything. But people did say, but making it a dance show, which it isn't usually. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So and it's worth saying, Camille Brown's for Colored Girls, like that's to be choreography in a play is always very cool, right?
Sure.
And if you want to talk about the storytelling, there was some neat stuff in there. I don't think it'll.
Yeah. Well, and Choir Boy won though for choreography, right?
I like that. It was nominated.
That is time. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna say I certainly hope it's Paradise Square. I think it might be MJ.
Yeah, I think I'll say I think I would say should win Paradise Square because I like this new format.
No.
I'm afraid I might say will win Music Man.
Okay.
But I don't know.
We'll find out this time tomorrow. Direction.
We don't know when he's gonna post.
That's true. Okay. Direction of musical. Ready? Go.
Yeah.
I know you have thoughts on this.
I do. So my thought is Marion Elliott and Company.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about this before. My thing for revivals, it is so much easier for me to see what is direction and what is playwright when it's a revival, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So like in Company, I know what Marianne Elliott did largely, and I'm like, you're working hard.
Yeah.
Stephen Brackett and Strange Loop might have done a ton of super interesting directing choices, but there's a part of me that's like, maybe those were all stage directions written in the script. Maybe that was already there.
Yeah, here's my thing with Stephen Brackett, and I shouldn't let this affect me so much, but like that show is very like it's a Black show. It's about the Black experience,
Sure.
Fully Black cast,
Sure.
and the director is like a cis white guy.
Is
which
he really?
like which like I'm not saying he's not a talented director. He's Tony nominated, but I don't know. I'm like
kind of weird.
It's interesting. It's interesting. And so for that reason, like I'd love a Strange Loop, but I kind of rather would Marianne Elliott win just because like tired of these white people, you know?
I mean, Marianne Elliott's also white, but a woman.
Sure. Yeah. Tired of these old white men, I guess. And like 6 is like directed by women. Don't want Christopher Wheeldon to win anyway. I don't think he will, but you know. So I think Stephen Brackett will win. I think Marianne Elliott should win.
That's mine as well. And like we've talked a little bit about, I know you've had some conversations that like not everyone loved the direction of this new company.
Sure, but it was bold.
Not saying that it was perfect,
Spicy.
but I appreciated what it was trying to do. I appreciated the take it was doing, the way it reworked things. That's the kind of stuff I'd like more directors to try to do. I'd like to encourage more of that out of the box thinking. So yeah, so I think I'll say the same, that probably will win. Stephen Brackett should win Marianne Elliott.
Amazing. And 5 seconds to spare. Let's talk about direction of a play.
We're flying.
I feel like Lehman Trilogy's going to win everything.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, it's so good.
And I think that's fine. No. I know I just went on my whole rant about like white men shouldn't win things, and like that's all Lehman Trilogy is. But also like
they did add one Black actor for the Broadway transfer.
Thank God.
But
so diverse.
Or I say specifically the post-COVID Broadway transfer. It wasn't supposed to be him. I agree. Lemon Trilogy. I think the direction is among the strongest parts of that.
Yeah. I will say I'm bummed because I think The Skin of Our Teeth took a lot of bold choices with like a boring Thornton Wilder play. Yeah. And so like I want to see that celebrated, but
I was going to say, we can maybe use the rest of the time in this category to talk about Skin of Our Teeth and Dana H, which are two shows we can talk about in the other videos. I read Skin of Our Teeth years ago, wasn't super familiar with it, but every time I like looked up I didn't read any reviews, right? But every time I looked up things about the show, I was really taken by the bold choices, design. The production design. It was really strong.
Oh yeah, and so Chip saw it. Okay. And he said that another thing they did was they added in dialogue. So it's Thornton Wilder, so it's like didn't age super well. And every
Yeah.
so often they would have like asides where like the characters come out and they like make direct commentary on how outdated this text is.
Oh,
Which
I like that as well.
I haven't read The Skin of Our Teeth, so I don't know if like I don't know how that fits in.
It could use it.
But like
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I'm into
No,
it, you
I do
know?
like that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I don't know, do you know much about Dana H?
I know nothing about Dana
Okay,
H.
so this one I know because Lucas Snath wrote it and he's like my man.
Amazing. You do have 8 seconds left.
We're gonna go over. So Dana H, I'm gonna explain to you what this process was. He recorded I believe his actual mother telling a story about what happened to her, which was she was like kidnapped and had or held hostage or something like that, and had this whole like life or death experience.
Oh.
And then edited that sound bites together. And this is a one-woman show where a woman sits on stage and lip syncs to that recording.
That does make sense with some parody articles I've seen.
Okay. You're reading the Broadway Buzz?
Always. Always.
So like really different, really unique. And not, I don't want like this to be the future of all plays,
Sure.
but like a really interesting way to do specifically like the documentary play, right?
Yeah.
The next like version of like Laramie Project or
like the found text play.
yeah. And specifically a play that has really interesting leading actors, sound design, and direction, which I think is what it's nominated for.
Yeah.
So like I don't know that it'll win anything because it's only those, but I wanted to give a shout out and let viewers know that like that's a cool thing that happened. One-woman shows on Broadway are always like neat, right?
Oh yeah, always.
And, this is a really interesting story, like with a really thorough performance. Because like lip syncing, like that makes it sound.
But
trivial.
that's like lip syncing music is like kind of hard, but like pretty like not like super impressive. Like lip syncing spoken text,
right,
is ridiculously hard, and
including like breaths and like
and like
and
making like new choices every night. Insane, absolutely insane.
Yeah. So that whole thing, like I'm glad that it's celebrated here as like a celebration of pushing the art form, right? It's also worth saying that show opened. It was kind of, they did like an evening of one act type of things. That Dana H and This Is a Room were both opened. I don't know if it was you've seen them both in the same night or they alternate nights or something. I think that they alternated nights is the way that worked, because they were both pretty simple sets and everything, and kind of in the just post COVID world, I think is when it was, couldn't afford a theater, right? But and I think This Is a Room didn't get any nominations, which is a shame. But no, Dana H is a very cool thing, and Skin of Our Teeth is a very cool thing. There's a part that is concerned either of them will win because they weren't nominated for Best Play or Revival, but want to make sure that we had a chance to talk about them.
Yeah, and really, like the only person I'd be like kind of bummed if they won would be like American Buffalo, and I don't think that's very likely.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Camille Brown's direction was also really
so can't lose.
Yeah,
can't lose.
But I do think this one is pretty solidly in Sam Mendes'. Which I'm not upset.
I think also so. Yeah. Sound design
musical
of a musical. Strange Loop.
Strange Loop, sure.
Yeah, that's really all there is to say about that. I think. I think. Listen, sound design and orchestrations I think go hand in hand. So I think if Girl from North Country wins orchestrations, it'll also win sound design.
Sure.
But I think both are going to go to Strange Loop.
Yeah, I'm down.
Sound design of a play. Hopefully Dana H.
So like I'm kind of thinking maybe Dana H. Maybe people will like walk out of that show saying we have one interesting sound design.
Yeah, because like I mean like if it doesn't go to Dana H, it'll probably go to Layman Trilogy.
Yeah, so like the sound was also interesting what they did with that with the pianist and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, those two. But I think it's possible that it was like the sound designer was as much the star of the show as anybody. Truly.
And like how often does that happen?
Yeah. So I bet it has a chance. Okay. Page 1.
Lighting design?
Lighting design and then go up this way.
Sounds good.
Okay. Lighting design of the musical. Do you want to talk about Flying Over Sunset? Do you know much about the show? I
I
don't
know
know a
nothing about,
ton.
I know nothing about Flying Over Sunset,
So
but
I've not
it got very few nominations, which makes me
yeah
think it's not going to take home lighting design of all things.
I've not read anything about like the Broadway production. I was following it as it was being developed because it's like literally an acid trip. It is Cary Grant and two other celebrities of that era who all did hallucinogenic drugs at the same time, like go on a trip. But it's like not a stoner comedy. It's like kind of a drama, beautiful, going with a Sunday in the Parks vibe is like what I was getting from it. And then I know Tony Yazbek and Erica Hannigan, the Mean Girls girl.
Oh yeah, Erin Hannigan. No,
Yeah, it's
Erin
Erica,
something.
right?
It's Erin, I think.
Okay, I believe you.
The one who's married to Kyle. What's his
Yeah,
face?
yeah.
Yeah, great, amazing. Yeah,
Yeah. They're both in it, so it's good.
that's cool.
But yeah. So yeah, so I'm assuming because drug trip, that's how it got lighting design nomination.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think the same can be said about Six, right? Like, it's a rock concert. Like, the lighting is crazy. So, like, that's why it got the nomination for there.
Yep. I did like Company's lighting design. I thought it was neat and integrated.
Sure.
But I say that I like their scenic design and lighting. They had a lot of practical lights in it, but I guess are we thinking Strange Loop will just win it in the?
That's my realistically. That's probably my will win and should win.
Yeah. I don't have songs. I don't think there's one that like, having never seen any of the shows.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's one that blew me away. So I think Strange Loop is fine.
Right. Lighting design for a play. I will say, I know one person who saw Hangman, and they did like call out how good the lighting was.
Was it really good?
So maybe really like all like Skin of Our Teeth and for Color Girls, like the production photos all imply great lighting design.
Yeah.
I think it'll go to the Lehman trilogy for the reason that most things will go to the Lehman trilogy.
Yeah. Again, if Lehman trilogy was gonna miss one, it would be lighting, I think. And maybe it's because of my own inability to separate the set from the lights. Like I think their set is cool and the lights that play part of that. I don't think of their lighting specifically as being very cool. And there's a part of me that wonders if even if Lehman trilogy gets the content awards, something like Skin of Our Teeth is going to get enough of the design stuff,
which
I think would be cool.
Yeah, I would be fine with that.
So yeah, I might say should win. Skin of Our Teeth will win Lehman trilogy or Lehman, I believe.
I would concur with that.
Okay.
Costumes for a musical. I will say William Ivy Long is nominated, and he does good work. He also is nominated for what I think is the worst musical to ever be put on Broadway, from what I've heard.
Have you seen it on Netflix yet?
No, I haven't.
I've not. I've also been meaning to.
I've heard, I'm sure, the exact same things you've heard, which is that it's an absolute dumpster fire.
One review I read says it's better live than it is on Netflix because people are laughing at it, like that, like it is like it knows that it's kind of campy, and in a theater you can
get away with that a little
bit.
Into
that.
Okay, sure.
But he didn't say it was good.
That's fair.
He just says better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't expect Diana to win. I don't expect Music Man to win.
I don't know. I think Music Man might win just because I think the 6 costumes are obviously the most impressive.
Yeah.
But I think I wonder if they're going to go for like quantity. Like there are 6 very good costumes in 6, but there's like, I don't know, 90 costumes in the Music Man, something like that. Yeah. So it's possible it's possible that'll happen.
I was wondering if Carolina Change has a shot. Like it has.
Here's the thing. I think Carolina Change would have won a lot of these if it hadn't closed in January.
Yeah.
And that makes me sad.
Yeah.
But like realistically, like most of the costumes are like pretty basic Louisiana in the 60s. Like the washing machine costumes are cool. The radio costumes are cool.
That's my thought as well. Like, yeah, the appliances are interesting. Everything else is
very, very down the middle. So I think 6 should win. I think Music Man will.
I'm gonna say I agree. I think I like 6 should win. I don't know who I think will. I might still say 6.
Okay,
It's because
amazing.
Music Man's costumes seem very boring to me.
They look very boring.
I'll say MJ's costumes are also kind of cool, but
I can't stress enough how much I don't want MJ to win a single award.
okay, it's not bad.
I'm sure it's not. I'm only going off of like the one like press room drama that happened like months ago.
Oh, I don't
And I
think I
just
heard about this.
no, so like Michael Jackson is not like an unflawed hero, right?
Oh yeah, that's
Like
certainly a thing.
yeah, and
Yeah.
and I don't know if you remember this, but like when it started like previews, there was like a press conference about it, and someone was like, "Hey, how are you dealing with like the kind of icky stuff that
Yeah.
happened to this person?"
Yeah.
And that reporter got like thrown out of the room.
Did he really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like they just gloss right over, which like I get it, it's a musical, but I'm
Yeah.
like, listen,
I didn't hear that story, but that was mentioned in like almost every review that I read was like,
yeah,
it's a good show, but like it's worth saying. It says on the playbill like made in conjunction with the Michael
like the Michael Jackson
Jackson estate,
yeah,
and everyone's like, and it pretty like blatantly just didn't talk about any of that stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
so
fine.
oh, sure, okay,
Yeah.
great, amazing.
Yeah.
Costume design of a play,
What's the name of the play? Yeah.
Plaza Suite.
Like, yeah, you familiar with Plaza Suite?
I mean, like familiar enough. I also I know that it's the only like I feel like it's got the most extravagant costumes. Like Skin of Our Teeth has like kind of out there stuff, but I feel like that's mostly in the set. Like the costumes
Yeah,
seem
you're right. You're right.
pretty.
Yeah, it's true.
And I also like Plaza Suite got like 0 nominations.
I think it might have been the only one. Which is
Yeah.
good because you put Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick in a show and neither of them get nominated. What's up with that?
Yeah.
Um,
So that's embarrassing.
yeah. Yeah, this I don't have any strong feelings about this one. I did like the costume designs in For Colored Girls. They were like not what I was expecting in a good way, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But again, but they're relatively simple.
Yeah.
I might guess Skin of Our Teeth in the thoughts that maybe they'll sweep the design categories. Kind of like, was it last year that's kind of what Christmas Carol did? Christmas Carol didn't win any of the content stuff, but it like won all the design stuff.
Oh yeah.
Which I think it should have.
Right. But that also last year was a bit of an anomaly for in more ways than one.
That's a weird one. Yeah. So you thinking Plaza Suite? Is that your official pick?
Yeah, I think that's gonna be my will win.
Okay. I've seen no images of Plaza Suite, so I can't tell you.
I mean, like it's people in a fancy hotel wearing fancy clothes.
Yeah. Okay. I'll say Skin of Our Teeth.
Okay, that's fair. And that's 5 seconds to spare. Scenic design musical.
Company is my vote, I think. Because Strange Loop didn't do a ton, right?
So like yes and no. They had a very minimalist set, and then for the 11 o'clock number, like no spoilers, but like a whole second set comes out of nowhere, and so like that's cool.
Okay.
And so for that reason, I wouldn't be upset if it won. The Paradise Square set, I know it wasn't interesting, but it was like the scaffolding ragtime Newsies vibe, and I love the Newsies ragtime scaffolding vibe.
Yeah.
So like also wouldn't be bummed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's probably going to be Strange Loop.
Really?
I think so.
Okay. I'll still say
but I might say will win Strange Loop, should win Company.
Okay.
I don't know. Great.
So you got to remember, I know we talk a lot about the way awards get grouped together, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that can also happen. But the revivals are what can change that up, right? Like in the design categories, like all of like the same people can win all the content awards. That definitely happens. But a revival is as likely to sweep the design categories as an original show is.
That's true.
And I think and hope Company's going to take a lot of the revival stuff.
I also hope so.
So yeah, so I'm gonna say company for scenic design because I thought it was really neat.
Okay. Amazing. Scenic design of a play.
I'm gonna say Skin of Our Teeth. Skin of Our Teeth is cool. They have
It's
a life-sized dinosaur puppet.
I really like the set of Skin of Our Teeth. Again, because I haven't read the show, I have no idea how well it tells the story that they're trying to tell, but it looks cool as hell.
Are you familiar with the story of Skin of Our Teeth?
I know nothing about it.
So it's vaguely, it's been a while since I've read it, but it's vaguely it's like the Adam and Eve story.
Oh,
So like
that story I do know.
Yeah. So like it the three acts are three different things, but in one of the acts it is like Cain and Abel, as if they were like the children of like 19. I feel like when I read it, I was imagining like 1950s America, like Leave It to Beaver or whatever, but
Yeah.
Cain and Abel kind of stuff. And then so one of the acts is that whole thing. Maybe Noah is one of the acts. It's vaguely biblical.
That sounds like Thornton.
Yeah. So yeah, so the whole setting it at a carnival-y thing, whatever, is out there. It was wild.
I will say I do really love the POTUS set. I don't think it's gonna win.
I've not looked into POTUS very much at all.
So like it's
worth talking about. This is the first time we're talking about it.
It's on like a turntable. I'm just gonna talk about the set. It's on a turntable.
Okay. I like those.
And like just like rooms rotate because they're all like going through hallways and stuff, but like it's not consistent. So like it'll like you'll see it in office and then it'll rotate and it's a bathroom and then it'll rotate back and it's a hallway. It's not the same office. So like
someone's changing it out.
Very cool. A lot of like depth perception kind of stuff.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think it necessarily will win, mostly because it got so few nominations.
That makes it a contender, though.
But like I'm glad they got nominated for sure.
Yeah. And I'll say I like the Lehman trilogy set.
Yeah.
It also spins. It's also on turntable.
Love that.
But a less interesting turntable by the sounds of it.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Score.
Oh, we picked a winner for
yes, picks.
I'll say Skin of Our Teeth.
I'll say POTUS. Why not?
Do props go into scenic design? Where do props live?
Props don't live anywhere. Props are like the best book of a play. It would be a phenomenal award to give out that they just don't.
If you ever go on the Tony Awards like Wikipedia page, there's some things about like past awards and whatnot, and there's things for like best stagehand used to be a thing for a little while.
I love that.
Yeah.
If you go on the Tony Awards website, when you're like at the nominations, like sorting by category, you can select book of a play. There's no nominees for it. But like it's there, so they know that they should have it.
Interesting.
Anyway. But yeah. Okay. Score. Strange Loop,
yeah.
I mean, I love it a Paradise Square one because I love Nathan Tyson.
Yeah, same. And I like all that music. I keep waiting for them to drop an album. I really like all that music.
Yeah, no, I mean it's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah. But to be fair, I like the James Wood music as well.
It's also very good. Yeah, no. It because like Paradise Square had so many hands in it, it gets a little messy.
Yeah.
And because Strange Loop is like it's very autobiographical, it's like it's tight. Yeah. So Strange Loop is my will and should.
Yep, I agree. We should talk about 6 though, I think.
Yeah.
I think I was talking to someone today that I think if Strange Loop and 6 swapped when they opened, we might have gotten slightly different realities.
6 has just been running for so long, and it's after like such a long run in London.
Right, exactly. Like it really doesn't feel new.
Yeah.
So I think it is. I still don't think it would have beaten Strange Loop for some of these, but it would have been closer.
Yeah.
I think at least in my mind, I've already kind of discounted it from several of these categories, which is a recency bias thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So like I think like the music in 6 is very good.
It is very good.
And I wanted to go on record saying that, but I don't think it'll win. I think Strange Loop can and should.
Yeah. And I feel less guilty about that, knowing that it like swept at the Olivier's. So like 6 has gotten.
So not as much as I expected when I went back and read it. I don't think it won Best Show. At least it might have won Score.
Yikes.
I think Come From Away beat it for Best Show or something that opened that same year.
That's so embarrassing for 6. Oh,
let me look it up for fast. We can move on to the next thing. I'm gonna find it.
beat out by Come From Away, the most American show currently running.
Let me find it. The Lawrence Olivier Award. Yeah, it didn't win any Olivier Awards.
I don't think it's gonna win any Tony Awards. Yikes! That sucks. That sucks for 6.
Yeah, Come From Away. Yeah, so the 4 nominees to the Olivier Awards, we're starting up to with the London Board. Come From Away won. The other nominees were Six, Tina, and Fun Home.
Fun Home?
Fun Home barely just made it to London. And the revival musicals were The Company, the same production of Company.
Right.
Caroline or Change, the same production of Caroline or Change.
Right.
And The King and I, presumably a new one.
Wow.
But yeah, who won score? It was interesting. In London, all 6 of the ladies were nominated for Best Supporting Actress. All 6 of them.
That's tough.
They lost to Patti LuPone and Company, but all 6 of them were nominated.
Oh my god. That sucks.
Yeah.
Like I really don't care a lot about 6, but now I just feel so bad for them.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I mean, they're making their money. They're doing
right.
fine.
They're fine. And in 15 years there'll be a Deaf West revival. It's like Sweet Acoustic 6. It'll be a great time.
I'm so excited for that now.
I know. It's gonna be great.
Oh,
and then it'll win a lot of things. Okay.
Sorry.
Best book of a musical.
Get back on track.
Strange Loop.
Strange Loop. Yep.
Won the Pulitzer. Really no contest.
For most of these shows, I think the book is the weak point of the show, and Strange Loop, I would argue it's the strength.
It's the strength. Yeah. I would concur.
Yep.
It is worth noting that Lynn Nottage wrote MJ, and Lynn Nottage is very talented.
We love her.
So is Billy Crystal, but I think Strange Loop.
Oh, and like what you hear about the MJ book, right? Is that so in some ways it is well written, right? It is like the dialogue is good, the transitions are smooth, like all of that. In that sense, good book. But in the other point is like the main critique of the show is the content it chose to include.
And that is the book.
Which also falls under the book, right?
Yeah, because the songs have no place in that. They're already written.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And Paradise Square is not a strong book.
The book was also the problem in that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I'll say this, I know so little about Girl from North Country book. I tried to find more about it, and it's just because it's doing black musical, right? It's
right.
But
yeah, I think Strange Loop.
Yeah, I think that's as certain as them for any of these.
Yeah. All right, now we're into actors.
Okay.
Featured actress in a musical.
Actress in a musical.
I mean, listen, Patti LuPone is the obvious.
I think so as well. I don't get it, but
I also don't get it. I think if Patti LuPone wasn't nominated, it might go to Shoshana Bean.
I love her. And is this her Broadway debut? She's been doing a ton off Broadway and stuff.
Yeah, she's done a lot of like Broadway replacement
stuff. Yeah.
I think this is her like original Broadway debut.
Sorry. Oh shoot! I was thinking of Shashane Natal. I now know who Shoshana Bean is. Okay, yes. I'm sorry.
Great, amazing. Glad we're all on the same page. Yeah. I don't think Patti LuPone is talented. I think she was talented in 1980. And I think she's past her prime, past her peak. I think the work she does is bad.
The freshest and funkiest takes.
The freshest and funkiest takes. So I want Shoshana Bean to win.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Patti LuPone.
Yeah, let me see. What do I have to say about it?
Because critically, people love Patti LuPone.
They seem to continue to love her.
And Tony voters, as far as we can tell, are like the people who grew up on Patti LuPone. So we can't expect them to vote for anyone else. Yeah.
And I'll say that she's well cast here. Like she is a good choice for Joanne, I guess. It's worth the other things that's worth pointing out, right? Jennifer Samard, I keep hearing people talk about her, and I'm so surprised why, because Susan is such a small role in the show to my memory.
I guess she just really makes it count.
But I heard that she's hilarious, like in her dialogue and everything is just so funny. So I think she recently got put in the 30s or something. I saw another article about her.
Okay,
So like
good for
she's
her.
great, and I'm sad for her. But that was fine. As we're talking about Ellen Morgan Lee, this is first trans woman, right, to be nominated.
Is she a trans woman?
That's my understanding. Yeah. If not, I'm gonna feel really awkward. But I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure it's
Let me go to
yeah.
lmorganlee.com. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
you're right. Well,
Yeah.
that's cool.
So that's neat, right?
Wow, I had zero idea.
Yeah.
Which it's
Mhm.
great.
Mhm. Yeah, so that's exciting.
Talented woman. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, don't have strong feelings about Jane Hattie show. She's hilarious, but
Yeah, well, she always is.
doesn't need another
But
Tony
yeah, and
for this.
comedic featured actresses don't win.
Not always.
Not when you're up against.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Jeanette Berridale is also very good, but I don't know if she did other things. Yeah. So I think, yeah, I'm all for saying Shoshana Bean, Patty LuPone, and maybe Elmore Queen. All of the ensemble does run together in a strange loop for me.
And that's like
right. The problem.
Yeah.
But like I would give all of them the Tony. So.
Sure. Well, like that's the thing. Like, I think Elle Morgan Lee is the only one who uses she her pronouns, so I think she was the only one eligible for featured actress.
All right.
I think the rest of the ensemble was up for featured actor.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes. Yes. Yeah. So I think it's going to be Patty LuPone, but I'm holding out hope for Shoshana Bean.
Yeah, I'd be willing to push Shoshana Bean and should win.
Yeah.
I don't know about her work in Merced, but I like her listening to things.
Yeah. Listen, I hear good things.
Yeah, I believe it.
Featured actor.
In
a musical. So worth noting.
Yep.
This is Funny Girls Only nomination.
Funny Girls Only nomination. That was a huge deal.
That was a big old cup of tea.
Face, yeah.
So for that reason, if Jared was so good, he's the only nomination, maybe it'll go to Jared, because Jared also, like, I think the odds of the Paradise Square vote getting split are pretty high.
That makes sense to me. This is okay. Only seeing YouTube videos. These two. This is the Irish dancing boy and the pastor, right?
No.
Who's Cindy DuPont?
Sydney DuPont. So there's Why Should I Die in Springtime, which is the Irish kid.
Yeah.
It's his foil. So it's a young black man who's escaped from the South and is trying to make it to Canada.
Got it. Okay.
I don't know if any of the songs he sings have been released. His name's it's biblical. Job? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I listened to Why Should I Die in Springtime a lot on repeat.
Oh my god, it's such a good song.
That's release this album.
So I think because like they're like foils of each other in the show, the odds of them getting split are pretty high.
Yep.
John Andrew Morrison was not my favorite in A Strange Loop. I'm going to be honest. If I had to pick any of the featured actors, he would have been like my fourth choice out of 5.
I feel like what I've read, he's the one who like played the mother largely, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Which like again in that 11 o'clock number, that's when like a lot of his work gets done, and I've heard amazing things about him. So like everyone else seems to love him. I also think John Andrew Morrison is like famous outside of this.
Okay.
So like wouldn't be mad if he won. Was a little surprised that he was the one nominated. And Matt Doyle, I only know from Jasper and Deadland, so I'm like, oh, Matt Doyle, come on, bud.
Oh yeah, he's done a lot of good stuff.
He has.
But
glad he's nominated.
But also mostly off Broadway or replacement stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like he.
I will say a little slightly bitter that it wasn't Christopher Fitzgerald nominated for featured actor from Company. I'll say it.
Sure, I like Christopher Fitzgerald. Also doesn't have a lot to do in Company.
I listen. I know he doesn't.
Yeah.
But I would have liked some recognition.
Sure.
Okay, so my vote. I would like AJ Shively to win.
Okay.
I think it'll probably go to John Andrew Morrison, which is fine. I'm fine with that.
I'm actually somewhat confident it'll go to Matt Doyle. I think he's got it. He
does not getting married, right?
He's not getting married.
Yeah.
Which is that same role won the Tony in London. And so I think part of it is people talk about that performance. That was arguably one of the stronger parts of the gender swap. Mm-hmm. And I think Matt Doyle is actually a bit of a Broadway darling. I think he is actually someone who like in the same way that like we all kind of needed to get Aaron Tveit Tony one of these days.
We're all hoping that Matt Doyle has his moment.
I think there are a lot of people who would be like, yeah, I like Matt Doyle and things. Maybe just my corner of like the off-Broadway scene that I think he's a big deal. But I think he is. I think he's kind of a big
okay.
thing.
Okay.
That's my thought.
That's fair.
But I have heard the argument, and this is fair, that like Matt Doyle has like one song where he's very good. Right?
Yeah. Sure.
Same with Jared Grimes. Jared Grimes' thing is he's
same with Patti LuPone.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Jared Grimes' big thing, he's like the best tap dancer on earth. Is like the role that he plays in Funny Girl, essentially.
Yeah.
Which is like great, but it's like tap dancing.
Yeah.
So I think
acting.
She's a great actor. So I think Matt Doyle can or will and should win, but it's possible Donna and Morrison also hop in there.
Okay, that's fair.
Featured actress
play. I'll be honest, I have no idea who's going to win this.
This one's tricky for me as well.
Like, instinct says Felicia Rashad, just because it's Felicia Rashad.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
and like I think the Clyde's vote's gonna. I think the Clyde's vote could be split, and the POTUS vote could be split, which leaves Felicia Rashad or Colored Girls.
Yeah. And so, like, I heard a lot of good things about Kenita Miller's performance. I mean, so they're all vaguely monologues, right?
Yeah.
So, and so when they show the clips, or whatever, you see 10 seconds from each monologue, right?
Sure.
And Kenita Miller didn't blow me away in her 10 seconds. Apparently, it's a big deal that she opened the show 9 months pregnant, or at least performed at some point in the run 9 months pregnant.
I mean, that is, to be fair, that is a pretty big deal.
And I think one of her monologues was about like miscarriage or like something that like
hits.
People keep saying the fact that she performed that monologue while pregnant must have been such an emotional whatever.
Okay. So maybe.
Maybe, yeah. I
certainly wouldn't be upset.
Yeah, I think Felicia Rashad is likely. I'm afraid that one also has been closed for a little bit and might.
It has. So really, like, POTUS is the only one of these still running. Colored Girls closed Colored Girls closed like a couple weeks ago, but Clyde's and Skeleton Crew closed in like January, February.
Yeah.
I think Clyde's may have closed in like November actually. Like they've been closed for a long time.
Yeah. So like I was vaguely thinking Felicia Rashad, unless one of these POTUS women are great.
They are great.
Which is my not concerned, but my thought is that maybe it'll go to one of them.
Right. And of the two, I think Julie White is my pick. She is really more of a leading actor. That is 2 minutes. But I also get why she was up for featured. So like I would love it if Julie White won. I think if it's Kenita or Miller, never going to be mad at that.
Yeah. None of these women would I be upset about it, to be frank.
Yeah.
I don't know as much about the Clyde's women, I suppose.
So like Clyde's, if anyone wins from Clyde, it's going to be Uzo Aduba.
That's what I assumed.
Yeah. Carrie Young is kind of, as I understand it, kind of like the doe-eyed ingenue.
Yeah.
Which like she does great work. She's nominated, but like I don't know if she's.
Yeah.
If this is her year.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm all for maybe saying Julie. But
Julie White, amazing.
There's nothing I'd be upset about on this list.
Featured actor in a play. This is not my scene. I'm gonna say just Jesse Tyler Ferguson.
That was my vague thought. He's very good in the show. They kind of my thought is did the show for him.
Sure.
The last guy who did the show won the Tony for that role. It's like all that seems to line up. I think it's still playing as well. All that good stuff.
It is, yeah.
I remember hearing people talk about Chuck Cooper and Trouble in Mind.
That's true.
Also very great, but that's been closed for a long time.
Yeah. And like I don't know that I read any reviews that were like Chuck Cooper is like the reason to see Trouble in Mind, you know?
Sure, yeah.
So yeah, so I loose Jesse Tyler Ferguson.
Yeah. I think the reason that wouldn't happen is if somehow the vote gets split.
Sure. And then I think if Alfie Allen takes it, great.
Sure. Yeah.
Heard good things about Hagman. Heard good things about him.
Yeah.
It's probably fine.
I'll be down.
Great. Leading actress in a musical.
Big one.
So here's the thing.
Yeah,
Elephant in the room.
sure.
Sharon D. Clark won the Olivier for this role.
She did.
She does very good work.
She does.
It closed in January.
It did.
And while this, I feel bad saying this.
Sure.
Sharon D. Clark was nominated for one song.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so was Joaquina Kalukango. Like
yeah.
both of them were nominated for their 11 o'clock number that got them standing ovations mid-show, and they should have been, right? Like they did great work.
Yeah.
I personally was more compelled by Sharon D. Clark. I don't think she's got a chance.
Really?
Which is a bummer, but also like
she was my thought of should win as well.
Yeah.
But truly, and the reason I think might is because, and I mean this with the most love in my heart, all these women are amazing, stellar. None of them feel like they are the runaway, here's the reason to see the show person, right? Like Son Foster, always amazing.
Is like the reason to see the show, but like
but like people even talk about she's a weird choice for Marion, and does interesting things with Marion, right? People say this is the funniest Marion's ever been, and I believe it.
Sure,
but
Bar's pretty low.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think for that reason it might go to Joaquina. Yeah. Joaquina, I don't know how to say it.
I assumed Joaquina, but I'm not.
I also assumed Joaquina, and then I saw a video where someone called it Joaquina, and I'm like, oh well, shoot.
Okay, yeah, they might.
Yeah.
So I thought, maybe it's because like the first review I read, I thought people didn't like Paradise Square.
I also thought people didn't like Paradise Square, but
I've
now,
been enjoying it.
I mean, listen, I think it's a great show. I also think Paradise Square is one of the first musicals to open.
Yeah.
And I think people are like, oh well, it's fine, but like it's not the best thing that's going to be out there. And then like it kind of by default was like A Strange Loop is better, but like
Girl from a lot of leading actresses.
Yeah, but like Girl from the North Country didn't really like blow people out of the water. Yeah. Like flying, like like I think people were like, okay, Paradise Square is fine, but it's gonna get better, and then it didn't. Realistically.
Yeah. That's valid. So yeah, I still might say. So I think we might be agreed that Sharon D. Clark maybe should win. I'm willing to say will win, but
okay.
If you want to say.
I think it's going to go to Joaquina. However, it wouldn't be upset if Sharon won, but I also won't be heartbroken if she loses because she already has the Olivier, and like if she's already won, I'm like, that's amazing, it's a great work, but like I don't feel a need to like recognize her publicly for it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
It's worth saying Sutton Foster did win some drama-esque something. But I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. I don't love that.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. Okay. Leading actor in a musical.
Okay. I have to take a moment to talk about Rob McClure.
We do. We have to.
I love him so much.
He keeps putting his whole entire heart, soul, and body into these roles.
Yeah.
And just never gets any recognition for it. And I hate that for him.
Gets the sole nomination for it.
Gets the sole nomination for it.
Or, as in the case of Beetlejuice, the only one not nominated, but I'm fine.
I think I don't think he has.
No,
I don't think he has a chance in hell.
But this was the Broadway community's way of saying we don't care for Mrs. Doubtfire, but we love Rob McClure.
We stand Rob McClure. And
truly, go ahead.
No, sorry, I was gonna go outside.
What love I have for Mrs. Doubtfire is because Rob McClure loves it so much, right?
Yeah.
Because I
feel the exact same way.
I don't know if you watched his speech on. They just closed. They just had their closing night speech.
They did.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It was really like even like the post he made when the show announced it was closing.
Yeah. Like it really is. It really is heartbreaking.
It is.
Have you seen this? We can talk. We'll after this ends. We'll talk more about Rob McClure. Have you seen the video of him as Mr. Rogers? Yes. There was some like mini series or something.
Yeah. perfect.
I love Robert McClure.
Move aside Thomas Hanks. There's a new Mr. Rogers in town.
He's simply the best. He's gonna be. They just announced he's gonna be in
and he's
Little
Seymour,
Shop.
which is the perfect role for him.
It's such a great choice.
Like, can't believe he hasn't gotten there yet. Anyway, leading actress in a play.
We can talk into the actual contenders, but we need to talk about him. Okay.
Yes. I mean, Strange Loop.
Jaquel, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be.
Yeah.
I have heard people like talk about Miles Frost as MJ.
Sure.
That's the impression ones are kind of tricky, right? And that is what he's doing. He is doing an impression.
Which, to be fair, I mean, like, the past 2 years, jukebox biopics have won. Like Tina won, Cher won.
That's true.
Jesse Mueller won. People love.
You're not wrong.
I don't love. I can't make that clear enough. Don't want MJ to win anything. But
no, that's a good point. I forget that other people do give those performers more credit than I do. I think he's good. Yeah, so I think he has a chance.
Sure. I'm sure he does great work. Like I'm not saying he shouldn't win. He is my favorite to win.
And he's another cool story, right? He's 22 years old or whatever.
Yeah, like
dropped out of college to go be Michael Jackson.
Sure.
But no, I think Strange Loop is. It's hard for me to imagine it not winning.
Yeah, that I think is kind of the clear favorite.
Yeah.
God, watch it be Billy Crystal, which would be fine, but I'd be very surprised.
I would also be surprised.
Okay. Leading actress in a play. I feel like it's got to be Mary Louise Parker in How I Learned to Drive. I think maybe it should be Deirdre for Dana H.
She did cool work. I don't know if she needs to win, but she did cool work.
But like I think Mary Louise Parker is the move.
Too. Yeah, she won last year. She won for The Sound Inside, I think, last year. So 2 back-to-back is neat.
It is. It is neat. But yeah, I mean, the fact that she's been with this role for essentially like 20 years.
Yeah.
Like,
are you familiar with the play? Have you read it or anything? Yeah. I like it. It's a hard role.
It is harder and more nuanced as you age with it.
Yes.
Which like she kind of accidentally did, right? Like I don't think she was like, all right, guys, happy closing. See you in 20 years.
Right.
But that is what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And like, I really don't think there's any other like clear, like maybe LaShawne's.
Maybe LaShawn. That one also, if it hadn't closed so long ago, I might give it more of a chance. Yeah. Do we need to talk about the Scottish play?
I don't want to.
Okay, good. I don't know anything about this production, frankly. I know Daniel Craig was in it and not nominated.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I am just so tired of Macbeth.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you saw the Denzel Washington movie.
Not yet.
It wasn't good.
I've not yet seen the production that I liked. I was hoping Denzel Washington one would have been.
I truly think the only production Macbeth that would have made me care about Macbeth is the one that Alan Cumming did.
Yeah, we wish I could have seen that one too.
But yeah,
I keep wanting to care about it, but I haven't gotten there yet.
It's tough. It's hard.
Yeah.
And I don't think this production makes it any easier. So yeah, I think Mary Louise Parker.
Yeah.
Would and will.
Yeah, I think I'll agree as well. I think giving Deirdre O'Connell the shout out, but I think Mary Louise Parker will and should. I'm happy with that.
Leading actor in a play is tough.
Look at all these men. Let's just like they nominated 7.
They nominated a lot of men.
I didn't know they were allowed to nominate 7 men, but here they are.
And like, here's the thing: do I think someone from the Lehman trilogy should win? Yes. Which among them? I don't know. Adam.
So it sounded like if it was going to be one, it would be Simon Russell Beale. That was like the general vibe that I'm getting is if it's going to be one, it's him. He is a little bit closer to a lead. He's kind of like the oldest brother, so like takes more of a commanding role at the beginning. Mm-hmm. They all play a couple different characters as the show progresses, but he has like a couple that people talk about as being standouts.
Sure.
But they really are kind of a unit.
Yeah. I guess outside of that, David Morse for kind of the same reason.
My kind of thought is David Morse and Mary Louise Parker will go together. That
So
they will either both win or kind of the fences thing from back in whenever.
That's fair, I think.
That because so much of the show is about their chemistry, like their
relationship,
time, right?
Yeah.
So if people were moved by that relationship enough, they'll vote for both of them.
No, that's
kind of my thought.
I'm here to say. I know nothing about Lackawanna Blues, and this is, I think, its only nomination.
It is, which I think I should have paid more attention to it. Ruben Santiago Hudson, I believe, is mostly a director, is how we hear about him. I think he does mostly directing things, but this is I don't know if it was a one-man show or not, but it was this was one of the first things after we came back from shutdown, I want to say. So it was pretty early on.
Yeah.
It's worth talking about. We've not talked about it because we're not doing things that are totally separate, but Passover was the first play to open back.
Yeah, and it got nothing.
And they got nothing, right? But it was a two-man show.
Mm-hmm.
Really good, beautiful work, and it was a bummer that it got nothing.
Yeah.
But I want to say Lackawanna Blues was not too far behind that. Was really in the early days. I think it might have been a one-man show, kind of back when we had to do small stuff. So cool that it was nominated after being out so long. I don't know that it has a lot of a shot. But yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably say David Morse is my pick.
I think so as well. I think he's mine for
with Simon as a second. Or
yeah.
Listen, anyone.
Sure. And it's worth saying that even of the two of them, I think Uncle Peck is a trickier role.
Yeah.
It's a hard.
I mean, it's certainly harder to take home, right?
Yeah. Maybe that's the way to say it. Yeah, harder to find a way to play it. Empathetically.
Yeah.
But it was good work. All right.
Musical revival.
In the end.
I know what your pick is.
Music Man.
Music ends with man.
I was texting someone yesterday, but what if Music Man wins anything? I'll be so mad.
I'll be so
yeah, I think that is how you feel about MJ might be how I feel about Music Man.
Listen, I'm not gonna take that away from you. That's fair. Yeah. I think I'm gonna guess of this, you lean more towards Company. I lean more towards Carolina Change.
I would not be upset if Carolina Change won.
Sure.
Yeah. I think I would choose Company.
I think it will be Company. Yeah.
But truly, if their opening date swapped, I might say Carolina Change.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, I think Carolina Change opening closing so long ago really hurt it. But I also think that listen, people want to vote for Sondheim right now.
I think that's the thing as
well. Now more than ever.
Now more than ever.
People want to vote for Sondheim, which is fine.
Yeah.
I think Company is a great revival. I think it does what revival should do, even more so than Carolina Change does, kind of.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, I think there are two reasons to revive a show, but I'll say this: I think there are three reasons that shows get revived, and I think we see all three of them in these three categories.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I think one is it is a show that people have forgotten about, a show that people need to remember, so they just do a relatively normal production,
but because no one knows about it,
that needs more time in the spotlight. I think that's what Carolina Change was. I think it's a show that they didn't really need to tweak. It just is so relevant right now.
Yeah.
That they're let's just do it. And then you can do a weird twist on a show, right? That's what Company was, right? Company was, let's take a show that everyone does know, but do something different with it, something interesting. And then the third reason that people revive shows is to cast a superstar in it. Truly.
Yeah.
Almost every a strong portion of Broadway revivals have a superstar, a Hollywood star in the starring role, right? And there's no doubt in my mind that The Music Man was put on for Hugh Jackman.
And as soon as he leaves, the show closes. That's all there is to it.
I think
do you know how much standing room tickets are for Music Man?
No.
$75. Standing room only tickets are $75.
I need context. How much are they in other shows?
$35 to $40. I've never paid more than $40 for a standing room only ticket.
Oh, that's frustrating. Yeah, I remember people reading about some people paying $700 for The Music Man or something.
It is the most expensive ticket on Broadway. It beat out Hamilton.
Yeah, that is. so absurd to me.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's ridiculous. It's yeah. Anyway.
So company is my will and should pick, but I do think more people need to see Carolina change and hear about it. I think I'm glad it survived.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Play revival.
I don't have strong feelings about this one either.
I mean, like, I'd kind of like it to be for colored girls because I think that's the most interesting show. I think I listen. I think if Mary Louise Parker and David Morse win, it's gonna go to How I Learned to Drive, which is also fine.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as well. Is that maybe those all go together, but like truly, this one could go many different ways. Someone started saying some of the maybe it was the Theater Mania thing started saying "Take Me Out" had a good shot, which surprised me. I didn't think it did, but maybe it does.
Maybe it does.
It's still running. People like it.
It is. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Yeah. I think oh yeah, it's okay. So we can go through this again. If we talk about the reason to revive a thing, right? American Buffalo is definitely star power. That's why that's back.
Yes.
Colored Girls, I think, is just a
people forgot about it.
People forgot about it, right? Timely play. How I Learned to Drive.
I would say it's closest to interesting take because
the original cast.
The original cast, and like it's so much older than that show is normally cast.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so that one truly is a little bit of a blend of all three, though, right?
It is.
There's a little bit a show that maybe isn't talked about as much, a little bit star power, and a little bit interesting take. Yeah.
So maybe it's like the trifecta, and it'll take it.
Yeah. I mean, take Me Out is a little bit of both as well. It's definitely got some star power to it.
Yeah.
But maybe a little bit of forgotten gem as well. Trouble in Mind, I guess the same. Forgotten Gem, because this is its Broadway debut, right?
Broadway debut, yeah. It opened in 1950 something.
Yeah.
And they're like, dumb it down. This makes white people uncomfortable, and they said no, so it didn't get on Broadway.
Don't want it. Yeah. So that I would have liked Trouble in Mind to do better, but I don't know that I heard enough about it.
Yeah.
So I don't think Trouble in Mind has a chance. I don't think American Buffalo has a strong chance either. I could see it going to any of the other three.
Yeah.
Might give my should and will to How I Learned to Drive, but
yeah, I'll give my will to How I Learned to Drive and my should to Colored Girls, just because I want it to win more than I think I'm predicting.
Yeah, that's fine.
Best musical.
Best musical.
Shall we say it together? Mr. Saturday Night.
Wasn't Mr. Saturday Night good? I never got a good vibe of that.
It's fine.
Okay, that sounds right.
Like
Billy Crystal's having fun.
Yeah, I don't think anyone expected it to get any nominations. It's not a show made to get Tony nominations. Yeah. No, it's Strange Loop. It has to be Strange Loop.
It absolutely will be. Yep. Again, I felt the need to say 6 is good, but Strange Loop,
But Strange Loop, yeah.
You're totally right.
They're all good. Well, except for MJ. Anyway, Strange Loop. Okay. Best play.
Best play is Lehman Trilogy.
Is Lehman Trilogy, yeah. Worth noting, this is the only nominee for the minutes.
Yeah, wow.
Which I think means if there was best book of a play, it might win.
Yeah.
But
Lehman Trilogy's got a good book, in my opinion. I don't think I had a chance to say this in the video that I made, but maybe after the fact I started digging into the way the Lehman Trilogy was crafted. Because it was based off a 5-hour play that's in Italian or something, and not necessarily meant to be done with 3 actors. They did a big workshop process where they had started with 20 actors and started whittling it down,
cutting them.
And so that play's whole development is wild. Sorry, but I think it's got Lehman Trilogy. I feel pretty strong.
I think so too.
Confident about that.
And that's it.
And that's the ballot.
That is the ballot. I don't know what time we started doing this.
Zoom might tell us. No, is it 11:00 on this?
I mean, listen, I'm not the host.
I don't want to stop sharing. Okay. Oh, I could have been annotating. I could have been checking as we went. I'm sorry, friends.
Do you want to start over?
Yeah, we got it. Hi.
Yeah, so that's the Tony ballot. Those are our piping hot takes.
It is, yeah.
We'll be watching the Tony Awards tomorrow. If you want to follow along, stay tuned for what that's going to look like. Maybe it's Discord. Maybe it's Instagram Live. Maybe it's just text us, because if you're watching this, you have our number.
Those are the options, I think. And man, hopefully this goes up before 20 minutes before the Tony Awards air.
But also, if it doesn't,
It might not.
if it doesn't, I feel like we still did our job.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Thank you all for bearing with us. It was a interesting return to the old Two Kids on a Couch ways after our hiatus.
Yeah.
We appreciate your grace, your engagement. I feel like next year we'll probably have ourselves together slightly more or slightly less.
I wouldn't bet on it.
That's true.
But we are having fun doing. I'm having fun doing this.
Oh yeah.
And we will keep doing it whether you watch or not. So
that is always.
Did you see Space
MO.
Dogs? We can talk about that as well.
I did see Space Dogs. It was good. I blogged about it.
Oh yeah, you did. You did. I just like Nick Blameyer. That's the main thing.
I feel that big way. Stay couchy, everyone. Stay couchy, enjoy the Tony Awards to all who celebrate it.
That's right. Goodbye.